Shout out to DVD Era TV. Salute. DVD Era. Sub-Zero was a monster in the DVD Era, son.
The underdog in New York is really here. Young Juvy, y'all. My son 2-1, he's still here. P. Wizzy, this Brownsville, man. I ain't trying to see the feds. Weed bags bigger than the pillows that's on your bed. Looking like I put on some weight. I'm feeling like the old Kobe, I threw on my 8.
Now, Jinx Da Juvy is a rapper from Brownsville, Brooklyn. Jinx is from Tilden Projects and began rapping at a very young age.
My name is Jinx Da Juvy, represent for all the people in Tilden.
Around age 13, Jinx started taking rap seriously and put out his first single featuring Papoose for Above the Limits. Now, Jinx rap for Cool G Rap over the phone, and G Rap would take a liking to him. G Rap would then invite Jinx to come to the studio to be on a song on his album, and Jinx would go to the studio with rapper Papoose, who was like a big brother to Jinx at the time. Now, these three recorded a record called Home Sweet Funeral Home off of Cool G Rap's Roots of Evil album in 1998. In 1999, Jinx along with Lady Luck will appear on Big Cap and Funk Flex Tunnel album with a song called Bounce. Now, after all the exposure Jinx Da Juvy was getting, there'll be a bidding war over him between Rough Riders and Def Jam Records, but Jinx will end up signing to Def Jam Records because his mother felt like it was a better deal for him.
DOI was interested in signing me, but my mother said for longevity, rather me sign to Def Jam.
In 2000, Jinx would appear on a record called NYC along with Cool G Rap and shoot a music video for it in Queensbridge Projects, which would be the first time Jinx ever shot a music video.
Kinda late, kid. You better get upstairs, so you gotta go to school tomorrow, kid.
Crazy tomorrow Saturday. I'm out here hugging the block.
Now, Jinx Da Juvy will continue to work with G Rap and appear on his next album for the Giacana Story in 2002 on a track called Blaze with Y'all. Now, in 2003, Jinx will get another big look and be on the Cradle to the Grave movie soundtrack with his song Off the Hook. Now, before we move forward with Jinx's accomplishments in the music industry, let's touch on some of the trouble and hard time Jinx was caught up in, because I feel like it's a big part of his history and legacy. Now, while Jinx was making moves in the music industry, he'll still be caught up in trouble with the law by having one foot in the music industry and the other foot in the streets. Now, on New Year's Eve 2001 going into 2002, Jinx would be shot in his arm by the police at the age of 17. Now, supposedly, Jinx was in a shootout with the police, and it's even said that Jinx sent shots at the officers. Now, initially, Jinx was charged with attempted murder on a cop, but his charges will be dropped down to reckless endangerment. Now, after being charged with attempted murder on a cop, Jinx Da Juvy will be bailed out 2 days later by his mentor and father figure, Russell Simmons.
Simone! Get a lawyer. Jinx in jail again.
Jinx would eventually cop out as a youthful offender, and luckily he wouldn't have to do any jail time, but he had to stay out of trouble for 4 years. Now, Jinx Da Juvy would deny having a shootout with police and says he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, later that year, after being shot by police in 2002, Jinx would put out BK Finest along with Fabulous, a mixtape record for the streets. But sadly, in 2004, Jinx Da Juvy would be dropped from Def Jam Records, but luckily he would keep his close bond with Russell Simmons and got his full support with his music career and projects he released under Teflon Music. Now, Jinx would eventually sign a Russell Simmons music group and continue to pursue his music career. And Jinx would start to basically grind it out in the underground music scene, from being on mixtapes, Smack DVD, I believe, in 2007, and Rap City The Basement in 2008, and he even appeared on MTV's Run's House. Jinx will also have his videos on WorldStarHipHop.com and a countless number of blog sites to keep his name relevant. In 2008, he would even have his video Strong Enough in rotation on BET's Rap City. Now, around this time, Jinx Da Juvy was grinding independent and started to promote his label Strong Enough Entertainment, but sadly the same year, Jinx Da Juvy would be shot in his head in September 2008. Now, supposedly, Jinx Da Juvy was involved with an altercation ending with gunshots fired, and Jinx was struck in his head. Now, Jinx Da Juvy would go on and survive this shooting, but not everything would be negative for Jinx. Jinx went back to school, and around 2009, he was supposed to graduate from college and get his associate's degree. Now, with all these things going on in Jinx's life, he continued to work and put out music and music videos, and even linked back up with Papoose to release a visual. But in 2014, Jinx's long life of crime and hustling and getting in trouble by the law would eventually catch up to him, because in 2014, Jinx and 14 others would be caught up in the Mac Ballers indictment, and in 2016, Jinx would be sentenced to 25 years of prison for his involvement in this drug conspiracy. Now, after Jinx filed for his appeal on his sentencing on his case and losing a few times, Jinx will finally get 10 years taken off his 25-year sentence and will be released from federal prison in 2027. Now, even though Jinx Da Juvy's in federal prison, he's still in good spirits, and he even launched his clothing company named Urban Graduate Clothing. Now, this whole Jinx Da Juvy story I wanted to touch up on because I feel like it's legendary and people don't give him his credit. Like, to be this young in the music industry at 14, 15, and to be rapping with Cool G Rap, being on DJ Clue mixtapes, and having being signed to Def Jam, and all of these things he was doing had some big impact at the time. It wasn't no small time things, like being on Funk Flex album with Big Cap. These were big moves he was making at a young age, and it's legendary, and it kind of influenced all the young boys to rap in the hood growing up in Brownsville. So I just wanted to touch up on his story. But anyway, if you're a fan of these old hip-hop stories, tell a friend and tell a friend about my page. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and more content coming. And I'm out. 1.